G'day mates, and welcome back to Pharaoh. We are heading into the sister mission this time. We're going to do the peaceful mission, which is going to be On, or Heliopolis. On is such an odd name to pronounce. Anyway, here we are with the Age of Pyramids, the quarries of Tura. Let's go on in.
Pharaoh Khufu has taken the throne, and, as foretold by seers of Horus and Ra, our people have already begun to suffer under his oppression. It is rumored that he plans to begin a colossal building project on the plateau outside Rosja, that he may usurp the renown his father, the wise and benevolent Snofru, has earned from the completion of his two noble pyramids. Pharaoh Khufu has ordered a cluster of quarries to be dug at Tura in the Delta region, where rich deposits of fine white limestone have recently been discovered. You also must build 3 mastaba tombs for the nobles of this region, so that Pharaoh may honor their devotion. The quarrying settlement you found shall be named On, and shall serve as a plentiful source of fine white limestone for many years, though only the gods know what endeavor Pharaoh has planned for its use. The city of Blxz in Lebanon, land of the cedars, has begun trading with the powerful empires of the East. These are Assyria and Ur, in the land called Mesopotamia, between the 2 great rivers, and from them the finest ivory may be obtained via Blxz. With the arrival of rare and exotic luxury goods such as this, On is sure to prosper. Khufu has also dispatched a royal governor to Eunet to defend our land against Kushite invaders. Royal viziers look with pity upon the governor charged with this difficult and dangerous task. In the capital, the Egyptian people have begun to enjoy a board game called Senet. This game is normally enjoyed over a pitcher of beer in a public gathering place called a Senate house. Such places may provide a welcome diversion for the people of On from the tyranny of Khufu's authority.
Okay, looks like a fairly substantial city in the city of On. That's a slightly different pronunciation than what I thought. No matter. I think we're going to dive right in and see what we've got in store for us. So let's slow time down and have a quick look around. This is a very nice looking area. I do love these lush green maps up in the Delta. The thing I don't like about them is there are a lot of different islands here, and it will be very difficult to throw down the mastabas. For example, mastabas can only go that way. They cannot be placed in that configuration. So we'll need to keep that in mind. These hippos are also going to be a bit of a problem, I suspect. We cannot kill them off. They will continually respawn forever. It's a real pain in the ass. Let's see what we can do. Farming grain and flax. Okay. Beer will be the problem. And let's just have one more quick look at it. Prosperity of 35. So we're probably going to need to import the barley and the beer. Because I think we will need to level up that high. We do, though, have clay pits. A few different stones. I suspect a limestone will be the most important one, without a doubt. That is pretty much is what we're here to do. And we've got some reeds on this map again, so we are going to need apothecaries running around to prevent malaria. So malaria and disease are 2 different things that people can suffer from. Alrighty mates, so the people are gradually moving in. Interesting thing to note here, I'll run over the city in a second, but you can actually use these little, what do they call them, water crossings for migrants. Migrants will gladly just move straight across them. You cannot use this, thank you, you cannot use them for anything else in the city. You can't use them for moving goods, you can't send anybody across there. Nobody else will be able to use them until both sides have labour access. So migrants are the only ones to go across. Thankfully for us though, we've got no land-based traders coming through, and I've got nothing over here at this point in time. I will have a little bit of a limestone industry down here set up, but what I've done is I've set up 2 main housing blocks on this island. I've set up a little one here, and I've got my dock over here with another little housing block down here. Some of you may be wondering why I have my dock all the way over here, considering we need to export lots and lots of limestone. That pretty much is what we're here for today. I've decided, basically running the numbers, that limestone is not going to be worth it at all for me. Okay, I got rid of that little Skype pop-up. So as I was saying, for example, I can have a look at the prices here. Let's go, where are we? Limestone, $35 per block is what I will be receiving. That's not very good. Now if I go back to the world map and have a look what else I can export, they'll buy bricks, pottery, papyrus. You will buy bricks, and you will buy linen. Now those are things that I can produce. Let's have a quick look at them for a second. Bricks we had a look at last mission, pretty valuable. Pottery, very, very simple to do, and almost as much as bricks. 105 per thingy, pretty good there. Linen, we can actually grow flax on this mission, so 160 for linen. Won't be able to export a huge amount of it, but that is very, very nice. And 165 for papyrus, the big seller of the game. Pretty much the entire game. Only wood sells for higher, I believe. Oh, no, copy those. Even better. And weapons, very, very few missions will actually allow you to export weapons. So papyrus is going to be our big money. Linen as well, and pottery and bricks as required. So we're going to the city, and this is where we're going to do it down here. I can get food down here from these guys, and I believe... no fishing. It doesn't matter. I can get grain for all the other guys up here. There's plenty of farmland. So I'm going to get that set up, and I will be back. And here we go, first time running out of money. No doubt there will be many, many more of those as the mission goes on. Population's a little bit low here. As you can see, 3,000, that's not bad. Population's a little low. I haven't put down as many houses as I have in the past, and that is sort of biting me in the ass a little bit. If I have a quick look, we're short by 79 employees. But I have some papyrus makers set up. We desperately need more employees to get this working. So I think I'm going to start firing up this little warehouse. This is not warehouse. They're people. They're not goods. I'm going to be firing up this little area here to leave that out for farming if required. So we're going to have enough people. We're going to have more than enough people. We're going to have population overload shortly. But this will keep us going for the near future once everybody eventually does move in. Now this papyrus stuff, when it starts kicking off, will be our first major export. I'm going to start storing it up in the yard first, so I'm going to try to avoid going into debt before we have, before we have quite a bit of papyrus stored up. At least half a yard would be my ideal goal at this point. But then we can export a whole bunch in one go and yeah, really see things going up. We won't actually have any negatives from being in debt for a long period of time then. Okay, we're down to 540 dibbins and we have 1,200 papyrus. That is a sufficient number. Now I've already got, unemployment's building up, that's good. I have gone ahead and opened up the trade route already. So let's now export all the papyrus we have. We can sell, let's have a quick look how much we can sell per year. They'll buy 2,500, which is 25 fat stacks of papyrus. That is very, very nice. Can't believe I just said fat stacks. I will never ever live that one down. Now, we've got, look at that. That is a shit ton of money that's just come in. That's a lot of money we've just got. The next step, I think, will be feeding this group of people down here. Actually, I'm going to do that right away while I'm on camera. Let's throw one of these babies in. 1, 2, 3. I can throw a temple in there. That will be very, very nice. Let's have a quick look. Are the gods? Gods are pretty good for the time being. I'd like to avoid pissing them off if at all possible. I have done that a few times in past missions. Now, once this food kicks in, excellent, thank you. What I'd like to do now is start moving on to my next industry area, which is going to be probably along here. I'm planning on doing, actually what I can do is kill two birds with one stone. I can set up a brick production. I was going to do flax, but I can do a brick production instead by feeding our people here with grain and then having a bunch of clay mines along here to set up pottery and bricks at the same time with the straw as it comes in as a byproduct from the grain. And we did duck into debt very, very briefly. I was trying to avoid it by building slowly, but the turn of the month, all the wages, unfortunately pushed us just under. So considering that we are in debt now, I may as well just go full retard and just keep smashing this stuff down. So we're going to have, let's go, 1, 2, 3. Why is there a fire in the city? How the hell? Okay, that's a frustrating thing to have happen, especially when there is a dude that should be patrolling right down there. In that case, I'm going to throw a roadblock there. I had hoped that they wouldn't stuff it all up, but looks like, yep, no employees needed. That is a little bit frustrating. It doesn't matter. I can just throw some stuff down there, and we should be back to getting everything well sorted by now. Now, as you can see over here, I'm going to have some pottery here. This is a grain warehouse, so I'll be able to then have the brickworks, not grain warehouse, sorry, straw warehouse, and I'll be able to have the brickworks coming down here as well, and they can all dump down to this little area down here. Sadly, we are in debt, and we're going to need our dock desperately to get that working. That should hopefully work now. The guy is coming up and touching it, and if not, well, then we've got other problems. I'll have to rearrange this whole area. So next storage yard, you're going to be a pottery and brick storage yard. I'm going to throw... Oh, well, you've seen me do this 100 times. I'll cut back. And here we go. Pottery and bricks are beginning to pile up in the warehouse. What we can do now is begin to export them. Pottery, of course, can go immediately. Bricks, I believe... Oh, no, bricks have already got that one open as well. Lucky me. This can take a while. Okay, no idea why that started at 30,000, but there we go, back to 0. Export bricks immediately. I will need them much later on. Brilliant. I will need them much later on, but actually it reminds me. I'll need bricks later. I'm doing two things at once here. I can't talk and work at the same time. But as I was saying, I will need bricks much later on. So, that capability to produce them will be useful. Now, what I'm going to be doing here, it's just reminded me, I will need, most likely, I'm expecting requests from Pharaoh. It's been, again, nearly a decade since I've done this mission, but we are here to quarry limestone. I suspect very much that he will be requiring limestone. He may even require sandstone later on, so I will be able to mine that out as well. But we'll start with just a little bit of limestone. I could probably even do, I can do 3 here. But I think 2 will be sufficient for the time being. I did limestone there, and that'll just stockpile that up in case we need to actually give some away. I don't plan on exporting it. It's really not worth my time. And this here is absolutely beautiful. They are spreading out what they're buying across all 3 different types here, which is very, very useful. It means I won't run into the export caps anytime soon. Now we have more than enough food over here. I'm going to throw a quick storage yard down here. A little sneaky storage yard here to accept all the extra grain. And then of course, look at that, beautiful timing. And then of course you are going to be getting maximum for grain to keep that one stocked up. Now, we don't actually have that much there. How much time do we have? I didn't check that one. 3 years to fulfill it. These 2 should be more than sufficient to just top it up as time goes on. Okay, the city is growing very nicely. We have a fairly substantial amount of unemployment and there are a lot more people moving in. So it is time for us to begin to work on our monuments. We have 3 of them to complete here. I have sort of experimented. I actually probably could fit that one back here. I might do that one later. For the time being though, I plan on just putting, I'm going to work on just the 1. Probably put 2 of them here. There will be room for a 3rd if required, but most likely I'm going to try and fit that 3rd one in somewhere else. It's a little bit tight. This is not a very good mission. I don't like these island hopping ones simply because there's no space. There is no way to get creative. The only creative thing I have to do is just try and move people around the city, and that can be difficult because these distances can be quite long, and getting these goods and services around can be more difficult. And there we go, compliance is now possible. It took a little while. It actually took 1 full year, but that's fine. We will continue to produce that at a steady rate. Now you can see what I'm setting up here is a connection. I'm going to be able to basically get all these areas down to, so I can move bricks down to this area when required. This is an interesting request. 500 game me. Luckily, I am doing the old warehouse getting thingy. So, that's actually quite an interesting request. If you have a look at it, this is pretty much, you start over here. So this is the furthest area of land to actually travel to. So it's the only place with game meat on it. So it's a little bit of a sneaky request. This entire place has collapsed because I've thrown down 2 apothecaries instead of an architect's post. That is very, very stupid of me. I have lost a lot of goods. A lot of goods. Hopefully I can recover in time without losing the rest of these here. Okay mates, we got ourselves a little bit of a linen production facility done up, and we are prepared up with some linen here. We have ducked briefly into debt because I was doing some careless building, as I am wont to do. Let's open up this export for, there we go, buys a linen. So linen is a very, very valuable trade good. We're going to export all of our linen. We don't need to keep 2,400 units of it. And that will hopefully make us quite a bit more cash. I have stopped exporting pottery So the pottery being dumped here is now being brought over to this yard. We have another little area up here, which has allowed us to begin evolving some things here. We are currently short by a considerable sum of employees. We're going to need a lot more population. So I am working on actually setting up a new little population center over here. So that's part of what sent me into debt so very, very quickly. But I will be setting up a very nice little housing block over here so we can start to get rid of this feeder housing. One more request of limestone, and again our two little yards we've got working down here are working beautifully. We have so much pottery coming in, I think we can actually begin to export this again. I'd like to set it, 1600 is a pretty much a good level I think, because this one will be always trying to get more pottery. So if there's anything stored over here, take it away, and if there's nothing else here you can probably still travel a fairly short distance to actually get it from that warehouse if required. And there we go, another request for game meat. I think I can throw that one out very, very easily because we're not actually using all the food that's over there. You can see over here in the background, the mastaba is gradually being built. I've only got the one dude here being sort of set down, and I've only got a couple of actual work camps, so it's very, very slow progress, all things considered. 3,000, that's very nice. We only need 4,000 for the entire mission, so it's very, very slow progress. But again, I'm not rushing. I am enjoying myself with this building mission. And it looks like the workers received a big wage. 7 Debons increase will really drive up my prices. I am, however, taxing my people. So, majority of the population is registered for tax. There is still the far southern housing block, and there's new one that I'm building that are not yet covered. We had a pretty good inflow of cash though, so I'm not particularly bothered about missing a couple of people here and there. And just a little bit more limestone. These are fairly simple to go. I only really need the 2 of them. That is probably more than enough. I think 1 would be sufficient. And here we go. The first mastaba is completely finished. Looking beautiful over here in the, I suppose, the quarrying district, the industrial district. Over here you can see the second mastaba is being done. A little bit of an odd access route for it, but rather than destroy houses, I thought I would just come around. Hopefully I don't lose anybody in here to flooding. Maybe if I piss Osiris off a little bit, I'll be able to build the mastaba just a little bit easier. And the third one, where the hell did I put the third one? There you go. Over here, nestled onto this side of the city. I think it fits in just perfectly. I had to remove one statue, but other than that, it's beautifully right there next to the houses. And another request for game meat. These have become routine at this time. I think at this point I'm going to stop showing you all the different requests I'm getting. None of them are very challenging at all. Well, I'm definitely noticing problems with the monument placement here. If you guys are playing along at home, I suggest putting all the monuments in one nice, easy spot where they have very easy access to everything. By putting them out here, I can basically only build the monuments during non-flood seasons, and basically there's a very, very limited window of opportunity for these bricklayers to come all the way out from where they are. They come across the map, go across a couple of these things, all the way down, across the floodplain and up here. That then causes workers to then go across, grab blocks or bricks from here, again repeat the entire thing, come all the way over, and then they have to cross the floodplain. By that time, the flood basically comes back up again. You can see these guys are only just coming in now. So it has taken essentially an entire year to do one layer. This is a very slow progress. This one can't be fixed at all really because there's no way to connect it here. This one I could fix by bulldozing a couple of houses and making a connection, allowing them to build it year round. Again, not something I'm going to bother with because I'm patient, but for you guys building at home, I suggest you take the easy way out. To be perfectly fair though, it does look absolutely beautiful when the flood comes up. You can see them sitting here. The cities look lovely. Each little island is basically fully developed. This one could do some beautification. I'll probably have enough food to actually set this one up and make a little housing block here, but I don't really care to. At this point I'm getting a little bit lazy and just waiting for these things to finish. And the second mastaba has just finished, looking beautiful down there. And here we go, the final load being laid in place, and the final mastaba is done. That is 3 out of 3. Each one has 10,800 bricks. That is pretty good, all things considered. Now, let's have a quick look what we've got here. Population, 4591. Excellent, just what we need. Culture has been taken care of. Prosperity is going nicely. We have shit tons of money coming in. And the limit, of course, is housing, but I'm not going to be bothered putting beer into them. Really, there isn't actually a lot of room for the industry that I actually need to put up. The kingdom rating is maxed out because I've just been having requests come in and sending them out as soon as possible. And the monuments, of course, all we need to do is to dispatch the burial provisions. And of course, here are a couple that I have prepared earlier. What we are going to need, of course, is linen and limestone. I just had a request just shortly. So we're going to have to stop exporting. If I can get to it. Where are we? We're no longer going to export linen unless it is over 800. And of course the limestone will build back up shortly. I'll be back when we're done that. And here we are, all done. A couple have been taken from by a mortuary, so we're down to a funny, odd-looking number. But we have 800 linen ready to dispatch. We have 800 luxury goods that I did buy over gradually. We have the wood that I have stored around. We have the limestone, of course, and some granite that I pulled in just a little bit earlier. And with that, we should be completely done. We can go onwards to victory.
Splendid! The mines you established at Tura have furnished all the limestone that Khufu has required so far. With the strong economy based on the productive Tura mines, your city has reached new cultural and social heights.
Well, that was a fun little mission. I'm not generally a fan of the island hopping, but I quite enjoyed that one. The city came together quite nicely in the end. I think it was very beautiful looking. This little so far here is very, very ominous. I wonder what we'll be seeing next episode. I'll see you guys in 2 more days. Take care.